Welcome to Dark Psychology Decoded. This is part 3 of our Mama's Boy series. Today we're going to dive into a quiz. It's designed to help you figure out something pretty important. Are you a mama's boy? Or, well, are you with one? We'll find out soon enough. All right, so here's how this works. You'll see a quiz pop up on your screen. It's pretty straightforward, really. Just a bunch of questions, and for each one, you just gotta answer yes or no. Simple as that. So, go ahead. Take a moment, answer honestly, and then we'll talk about what your score means. Okay, so let's say you scored somewhere between 1 and 7. Well, that means he's got a few traits, that kind of lean in the mama's boy direction. But don't freak out just yet. It doesn't necessarily mean he is one. Think of it like this. It's like he's got a few ingredients for the recipe, but the whole dish isn't quite cooked yet. Still, it's something to, well, keep an eye on. Maybe chat with him about the stuff that bothers you. Pick a good time, like when you're both relaxed and won't be interrupted. And be specific. Don't just say, I need more affection. That's kind of vague. Instead, try, I'd love a kiss before you leave for work in the mornings. Make it clear what you want. And when he's talking, really listen. Little things like saying yes or right or I see can make a big difference. It shows you're paying attention. And your body language matters too, like leaning in, nodding, smiling, the usual stuff. Just be supportive and see what happens. All right, if you landed in the 8 to 14 point range, things are getting a little, spicier. It's like the mama's boy dish is simmering on the stove. It might not be fully cooked yet, but it's definitely heating up. It's a little concerning, I won't lie, but don't lose hope. We can still work with this. First things first. Try the advice I just gave you for the 1 to 7 scores. Talking it out, being specific about what you want, really listening, that kind of stuff. Sometimes just clear communication can work wonders. But if that doesn't seem to be doing the trick, you might want to consider seeing a couples counselor. I know. Therapy. But trust me, it can be really helpful. A good therapist can give you both a safe space to talk things out and learn some new ways to communicate. It can be a really positive experience, even empowering, They'll help you figure things out together, and that's what matters. Okay, so if your score landed between 15 and 22, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This isn't great news. It's highly likely you're dealing with a full-blown mama's boy. It's like the mama's boy casserole is fully baked, golden brown on top, and possibly a little burnt around the edges. Now, look, this isn't the worst case scenario. There are definitely worse personality types out there. But it does mean you have some serious work ahead of you if you want this relationship to thrive. I'd suggest going back and revisiting part 2 of this series. It'll give you some additional background and context that might be helpful right now. But for now, I have 3 specific pieces of advice that have helped other couples in this situation, and they just might work for you too. So let's get to it. Here are a few things you can try. First, have an honest, heart-to-heart talk with your mama's boy. Tell him straight up, "Look, I've tried everything I can think of, and I'm at a loss. I need your help here. What do you think we can do to make this relationship better?" And be clear about your boundaries, what you're willing to do, and what you're absolutely not willing to do. This could be the wake-up call he needs. Second, consider a couples retreat. There are some fantastic programs out there that specialize in relationship enhancement. Even if he's not thrilled about the idea, just getting him there is half the battle. It can really get him thinking about how important the relationship is to him and about his role in making things work. Third, and this one's important, start focusing on yourself. What do you want out of life? What makes you happy? Sometimes, when a man realizes his partner is serious about moving on, that's when he finally steps up. Now, I'm not saying this is a game you should play. You have to be genuinely ready to walk away. But focusing on your own happiness and well-being can be incredibly empowering, regardless of what he decides to do. So, there you have it. 3 things to think about, 3 potential paths forward. So there you have it. That wraps up our deep dive into the mama's boy personality. We've covered a lot of ground in this series, from understanding the root causes and characteristics of a mama's boy, to practical tips on navigating relationships with them. Remember, the goal here isn't to demonize anyone, but to equip you with the knowledge you need to protect yourself from manipulation and to use influence strategically. The insights from this channel can empower you in all areas of your life, from your career to your social circle, and especially in your personal relationships. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next series, where we'll decode another fascinating personality disorder. See you next time!